Welcome to Lake Cumberland Amateur Radio Association. You can find us at LCARA.net, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Instagram. If you're enjoying the videos we're producing here at LCARA, please help our club out by hitting that subscribe button. Also, give us some feedback on our videos. Click the like button, share with anybody who may find it interesting, and be sure to hit the bell icon to make sure you get notified of the next video release. KY4CKP. And this evening we're going to see if we can pull together all the elements that we had talked about in our previous series on the effective operator. We're going to be working with our software-defined radio. SDR Uno is the software package we're going to use with that. We're going to be working with Log4OM, our logging software that we talked about, and then also, of course, using QRZ.com. So we've got everything on our screen. We've got the radio on and a little bit of traffic. But we've got some traffic, and we're going to be looking around a couple of different bands and see if we can't just make a couple of contacts tonight, see who's awake and who's talking, and see what we can find. So we're just going to see what we can do and try to get in a couple of contacts, just kind of show how things work. If we look here in the Log4OM, I'll bring that to the foreground, make it a little bigger. I've got it down to just phone traffic because that's what I typically work. Excuse me, we can see there's a few things on the list there. And again, what's kind of nice about, they call it the clustering, and N1MM Logger Plus and a few other things can do this. As other people are making contacts, it'll show up here and just helps give you kind of a heads up, what kind of traffic is out there. Sometimes you just have to look around, check the cluster input from, if you have that kind of thing through your logging software, which again, a couple of them do. And check the waterfall. We'll check some other bands as well. And it can take a while. Some evenings, depending on exactly what time it is. With Europe, early evening is sometimes a good time because for them it's about 5 hours later. So you're thinking, oh, it's only 5 o'clock. Well, it's already 10 o'clock for a lot of those folks, or 11 o'clock. And so as it gets a little bit later here, even on the East Coast, you'll catch sort of the night owls, but tend to get more traffic a little bit earlier in the evening. But I'm going to hang out here for a bit and see if I can talk to South Africa.
Okay. Again, this is Bill, BILL, and you're just on the edge of my white stuff, but you're in the book. Whiskey 7 Alpha India Tango, 006 Charlie Yankee. Yeah, I'm in the very north part of the Republic of South Africa, okay. I don't hear it this morning. Sounds like that.
Not really getting much on the S meter, but I can hear him fairly well. I'm not sure if it's coming through my headset mic.
North America, 006 Charlie Yankee.
Kilo Yankee 4, Charlie Kilo Papa.
Kilo Yankee number 4. What was it?
Kilo Yankee 4, Charlie Kilo Papa, Charlie Kilo Papa.
Good evening, pleased to meet you. Kilo Yankee 4, Charlie Kilo Papa. You're 5 and 7.
You're not very strong here. I'm in central Kentucky. You're probably 5051, but you're easy to copy. Easy to copy.
Same here. I have some noise. It's just before my sunrise. This is Bill, BILL. What is your name?
My name is Chris, Charlie Hotel Radio India Sierra. Chris.
Okay, good one, Chris. Again, pleased to meet you. This morning before sunrise, my time, 5 and 7. Kilo Yankee 4, Charlie Kilo Papa, 006 Charlie Yankee.
Yep, thanks for the contact, Bill. I'm going to let you go. I'm sure there'll be some others who are going to try to catch you. Have a good morning, and hopefully we'll catch you again. 73.
73, good night. This is 006 Charlie Yankee.
All right, excellent. So we spotted a fairly weak signal on the waterfall. Didn't happen to see any correlation in the cluster and Log4OM, but that happens, and sometimes it doesn't. Went ahead and checked it out, tuned it in, heard the gentleman, Bill, in South Africa. Heard him pretty well. It's always a little bit better on the radio. We can unmute the SDR for a moment. Of course, right when he's not really talking, somebody else is talking. But again, it's a lot of fun because you can hear a little bit of an accent, so it's somewhere probably off the continental U.S. Not that those contacts are bad either. And South Africa, I've heard South Africa 2 or 3 times now. I think maybe that's my second contact on South Africa. I haven't made them all. It seems to me like the bands are slowly getting better from a year and a half ago when I started. I know the sunspot cycle's still not great. But yeah, we were able to zero in on that, check it out. It was a decent copy. Not very much, not much on the S meter, 4-something 50. But I heard him and he heard me. He got right through. Of course, there wasn't much of a pileup, but I got right through. So again, that's kind of what running a setup like this can do for us. You've got all these tools to help you try to be a little more productive with things. Now, we can search the bands, and we might still have made the contact, but for me at least, it's a lot of fun. I work with computers and use computers anyway, and have these tools available. I entered in the information in log4om, and it pulled the information from QRZ. I had already looked up Bill on QRZ, but I entered it in log4om. It already had the frequency, automatically puts the date stamp and everything, the time. Hit enter, and so now if we go to my logbook on QRZ, so that should be showing up there in the video, we should see the contact for Bill. There he is, right there on the top. All I had to do was enter it in, hit enter, and it piped it right over to QRZ. Now, I already had QRZ open, and already had his contact open, so I could have put it in there, but sometimes I'm working and I'm pulling stuff right off of log4om, and just to kind of show you folks, I know the camera was off for some of that, but it's that easy when you're fully set up with log4om. There's no import export. Put in the information, hit enter, and it pipes it right over. So excellent contact, excellent DX. And like I say, we'll go ahead and pause things for just a moment. I'll check a few of these signals. As you can see on the screen there, there's some pretty strong signals. They could be nets or something, or just there are some really strong stations out there. We'll see who's talking, and if we can make another contact, we'll bring you folks right back. There we go, Abdullah. Abdullah in Kuwait. Glad I got that call sign right. So let's see if we can reach Abdullah in Kuwait. I haven't hit Kuwait. That'd be a pretty good hop there in the Middle East. Not a whole lot on the waterfall, but that's how it is sometimes. Kilo Yankee 4, Charlie Kilo Papa. 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 Charlie Kilo Papa. Charlie Kilo Papa. QSL Abdullah, QSL, my first contact in Kuwait. I've got you probably 5252 Central Kentucky. '73. All right, excellent evening. We've hit South Africa for the second time only, and we hit Kuwait. Not a super strong signal, but it's all about making the contacts. and having some fun. And we were able to use our setup to do it, and not always by zeroing in on the strongest signal, but sometimes it's just spotting a small signal. And I do that fairly often because that's what I've found. Many times a fairly weak signal on the waterfall turns out to be that DX. So excellent. Be sure and log Abdullah in Kuwait. I've got it set up. Hopefully you can see there in log 4 OM 7153, and I sent a 5.2. He gave me a 5.9, which is probably generous, but that's okay. And it'll put the time and date step on there. So all I have to do is hit enter. And if we come back over here to the web browser and check my logs, I'll just refresh the tab. And there we go. 9K2DX, it was added in. Or 9K2, actually I need to change that. That was 9K2GX. Let's see here. That wasn't Muhammad, that was Abdullah. So I'll edit that. Forgot that I had that in there correctly. I may have to delete that and do it again. There may be a way to do that, but I'll just delete that and put it in correctly. But that is excellent. Excellent. 9K2GS. There we go. So we'll put that in there. Again, we'll just hit reload. Type it back into log 4 and 9K2GS. Abdullah, excellent. Not sure what that error message is, but it seems like it found Abdullah's information there on QRZ. So 2 excellent DX contacts using the setup with my SDR, log 4 OM, and web browser with QRZ, and a little bit of dial tuning is always in there somewhere. So that's what this video was about, just kind of a follow-up. We had a viewer request, and just to kind of show it in action. So there we go. We were able to make a couple of pretty cool DX contacts for the evening. So that's going to wrap it up for this one, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed the entire series talking about the software. There's all kinds of ways that we can play radio, whatever works for you. And if sticking to the dial is how you like to do it, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Again, I certainly do it when I'm mobile and portable. And if you do it when you're at the shack, hey, that's great. Whatever helps you and gets you to enjoy being on the radio and having some fun. So that'll wrap this one up. This is Chris KY4CKP for LCARA, Lake Cumberland Amateur Radio Association 73s.